Yo, 6 5 show season 2 featuring my boy Jorden Kyle. Jordan, how you living today?
I'm living good, brother. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good in this life, I'm very grateful, very grateful. Another season, more life, more life.
We have to be,
Um,
man. We made another lap around the sun. You feel me?
yeah. You specifically, happy belated, my boy. Happy
Oh, thank you,
belated.
man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. That shit came and went, but I guess that's how they all are, right?
Yeah, another year, many more, many more.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
Yes, man.
get this
Appreciate it.
started, yeah. The first time I heard of Jordan Kyle, it was Danny and I, and we were on our way to the studio. Sometimes I just be, accompanying him to the studio, and he was like, "Yeah, we're going to the studio. Jerron gonna be there." And then this guy there, I think his name is Jordan. He does a little bit of rapping, does a little bit of singing, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I was like, all right, I'm there for the vibes. I'm there, chill, make some music, support whatever's going on. All right, and
Yeah.
we pull up, and you there and Jerron's there and he's playing some beats, we're doing some this and some that. And he's like, oh, pick a couple you like. You're like, I might pick a couple I like. Yeah, let me see. And you play one and you start freestyle. I'm like, okay, like, this guy got some tempo. Okay, he can freestyle a little bit. He's like, I don't really like that one. Picks a totally different beat. And he goes off on another, 8 or 9 bar freestyle. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really like that one. Then he does that again like 4 more times to 4 completely different beats. And I'm like, oh, this man's insane. Like, this man is manic or something. Like, what? He's not one. He doesn't even like these beats, and he's just going off and just like freestyle of death. I don't know what's going on, but I was like, oh, this man is talented. This man is talented. And that was the
Appreciate you,
first time I
brother.
heard of Jordan Kyle.
Appreciate it, man. That was a moment for sure. And just full disclaimer, I didn't dislike none of the beats. I feel like I
Yeah.
rock with some more than the others. They were all tight. But yeah, man, ever since I was a youth, bro, I just love to spit on whatever. I don't ever I hear a lot of people like shy away from certain beats and certain types of things. So I never really wanted to do that because I felt like I was limiting myself. So I'm glad that you got to see a little bit of that, man. It was a moment. So that was a dope night for sure. It was great to meet you and led to all this. So
No, yeah. Definitely dope. But we got to hear a little bit of, the types of sounds you do like on your project last year. You dropped
Mhm.
debut album Enigma, included the feature from Bean.
Yes, sir. Yes,
How
sir.
has your
Shout out Beam.
approach? Yeah, no, shout out Bean. How has your approach to music changed since you dropped that album?
Monumentally, bro. So
Mm,
when the album came out last August, I was outsourcing every song, every beat. Working with some great individuals. And shouts out them. I think when last year while I was working on the album, I was kind of gearing up for what was next. And I think like the next step for me was learning how to do everything 100% independent. As you can see, I got my lab here behind me. Early last year, I didn't have this. You know what I mean? I had like a smaller, like less built up version of it. I was able to make stuff and like, dabble here and there in production. But I mean, since the album came out, everything, I played for you and Danny a couple weeks ago. Like everything that I've made since like mid last year has all been 100% in my room by myself. So the whole process is different now, and I'm having a lot more fun with it. I'm able just to wake up and create at any moment, and it's been super inspiring. My output is through the roof, and I'm just really enjoying it, man. So since the album came out, just totally different process. 100% in house. Still always willing to work with others, 100%. Um, but I just feel most comfortable when it's kind of just me and my equipment and just my sound kind of in one room, just kind of cranking out ideas. So that's how it's kind of shifted since last year for sure.
no, definitely. And you kind of alluded to it, but you're doing a lot more producing and engineering now. Like last year, you were dabbling in it, but this year you're, one man army if you need to be. How does that feel?
Yeah, man, appreciate that. It's dope. I think the producing side, there's two sides of that, right? There's the producing side, and there's the side. The producing side, I am 100% like in love with, man. It's been such a beautiful journey to like start at those frustrating nights where you want to get an idea out, but you just don't know how to get there. Moving on to nights where you're making hits in your house. You know what I mean? You're making hits in the room. You wake up and you're just like, I got nothing to do tonight. I'm gonna crank some shit out, and it turns out super dope. Like that was kind of the destination I had to get to. I'm happy I got there. I didn't know when I was going to get there, but I'm glad that I'm finally able to hear some freestyle labor. The other aspect of it is the engineering side, which I really, really do enjoy. I still think like there's always ways for me to improve, you know? But yeah, it's been dope, man. I only work with certain artists that like really have a passion for their craft. Obviously I'm still engineering in my home. So I want to just make sure that everyone I'm working with respects the environment, respects me, respects my space. And, you know, we have women that live here as well. So that's also a really important aspect of that, you know, of that whole scenario. Like you just got to be respectful. So yeah, not that I've run into folks that aren't, thank God, knock on wood.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
it's been cool. It's been cool, man. I'm working with a couple artists really closely right now. I got my homie Jay Thurston. We're finishing up an album for him right now. It's like 14 songs. Like we're 8 deep right now. So it's
Mm.
we're deep in it, bro. It's cool because it's kind of nice to like because when I'm working by myself on my own shit, I'm always like very hyper focused on like, is this gonna fit within my sound? Am I not doing anything too weird? But like with others, I'm willing to go as far as they're willing to go. So they kind of
Yeah.
set the parameters, and I just get to press the buttons and like give ideas. So that, it's kind of nice to take a backseat sometimes. So it's been cool, man.
No, I get that. I get that real artistry. Real edition, real interview. Tell us a little bit about Real and your latest single with Nef da Pharaoh and how that came to be.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you asking. So Real is a really special song. I've said this multiple times on all my IG posts over the past few weeks, but I just put out a new song this past Friday called Real, as you mentioned. Big Boss Chang, Nef da Pharaoh, you know, blessed me with a nice little feature right quick, you know. It was a great process working on this track, bro. I originally made the beat in like
Hmm.
April, May, I think. So about 6, 7 months ago, you know. Geez, what month is it? 6 months ago. I know it's years flying, bro. But yeah, so back
Yeah.
in May, I cranked up the beat. Honestly, I just kind of went into it with no expectations. It's a very simple beat. I did a little beat breakdown on my Instagram. Like, bro,
Hmm.
there's three non-drum instruments, and then there's just drums. Like, it's really simple, really bare bones. So I didn't do too much with it, but it was just catchy. Like, I honestly didn't even really intend for it to be for me initially. I just kind of made it to have something. You know, I'm producing a lot now, so I'm just trying to have beats to shop around and
Yeah.
just stuff I'm sitting on. So if I run into artists, you know, like, hey, here you go. Here's some shit I'm working on. See if you can fuck with it or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, like going back to it, I really just made it super simple. I didn't really have any plans for it right out the gate, but I started writing to it, I recorded to it, and I just really loved it. Like the whole idea behind it, it's just like a really like down to earth, like Bay club banger. You know what I mean? There's nothing too experimental with it. It's just like the feeling I get when I listen to it is the feeling I get when I listen to like In the Club by 50 Cent, one of the first rap
Mm.
songs I ever heard when I was really young.
Mm.
It's just simple, bro. It's just like that club formula, that simple, like, you know, 100 BPM, not too fast, not too slow, just really go with the flow type of song. And then my manager DEO, shout out Official
Hmm.
Business. When I played the record for him for the first time, he really loved it. And like we were like kind of on the same wavelength that we wanted to do something bigger with it. So in September, him and I were down in LA. We like pulled up on Simba. We ran into Stretch, 24K Golden's manager. We were just kind of like, you know, chopping it up, meeting a bunch of folks, right?
Hmm.
And we were in the car on the way to the Simba session, and we were just like talking about the song. And I was like, bro, I want to get like someone dope on it. And we were thinking about Nef
Hmm.
because Dio, you know, grew up with Big Rich. Shout out Big Rich. Shout out 1015 Management, and they're managing Nef. They're managing Locala right now. So you know, like it kind of like was within their reach. So we shot our shot, and it ended up working out great. Neff pulled up on us in the lab in Dio's lab in the city, and it was a cool session, bro. You know, it was just filled with folks, like good energy, good company, and he got it done super quick. You know, he had everything ready to go. He loved the track. He was vibing with it, and it clicked really well. We were probably out of there within like 2 hours, bro. It wasn't anything too crazy, but it was definitely a moment. And it was cool. And listening back to the song, like the one thing I keep hearing from everyone is like, that's a really catchy one, bro. Like this one's catchy. I love the
Hmm.
hook. I love the hook. The verses are tight, you know, like, so it's been dope, bro. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So yeah.
Nah, that's fire. That's fire. Yeah, closed mouths don't get fed. Closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah, man.
And since you dropped the
Yeah.
single, and you notice you're dropping a lot of content too. What's kind of like your strategy behind like making sure your content has, I don't know, maybe like what's the most important quality you have to make sure your content has?
I think it needs to showcase the artist. I think
Mm,
I think songs are important, right? Like songs are like the ammunition, but the artist is the weapon. You know what I mean? Like you aren't going to be able to shoot out this ammo if you don't have the weapon. Like the artist is the
mm,
person delivering these sounds. You know what I mean? Like just like, for example, I'll use our good friend Danny Ali as an example. Like him and I are both doing our own thing, both super dope in our own ways. I could never do a song like he does. You know what I mean? And like, not to say he couldn't do a song like me. I'm not going to put him in that
yeah.
box. But like, I mean, as artists, like I'm just using this as like an analogy. As artists, like we all have our own lanes, and we're all crazy dope in our own ways. You know what I mean? So showcasing the artist, like I'm just trying to really show people right now who I am. Because if they fall in love with who I am as a person, they're gonna fall in love with the artist, the man behind the music. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So like I'm just trying to like pop up on people's feeds more than ever right now is my main goal. Like with the content itself, I'm trying to just have a higher output. I'm not trying to overthink what I'm putting out. I'm trying to mix a good amount of performance type of content, like people seeing me actually spit into what I'm working on,
mm,
performing it, seeing the body movements, the body language and the energy, but also just like telling a story and painting a picture of like, who is my team? Who's helping me do this? Because I think that's also very important, like making sure that everyone who helps me along the way gets some food in their mouth as well, So yeah, just higher output and just not caring as much about what I'm putting out. Not in a bad way, but more so like
yeah.
growing up, I used to be so self-conscious. Like, I don't know if I want to post this pic or post this video. I don't know how people will perceive it. That's all out the window now, man. So
Mm,
yeah,
that's important. Yeah.
for sure.
And and a little bit about some real balance. What is your balanced approach to making sure in between, maybe writing raps or creating beats that you live enough life for the music to have some substance? What's the real
Yeah.
life balance of Jordan Kyle?
Yeah. So this year's been very different for me just outside of music. Um, I'm spending time with a lot of different people. I'm meeting a lot of new people that make music and also people that don't make music. Um, when we get into our mid to late 20s, like we start noticing that like our circles are just smaller and smaller. And you really got to hang on to those few friends that you still have, that especially the ones that support your craft and what you do.
Mm,
And like this is the year where like I did this birthday post on my birthday and like I made that statement. Like, you know how people say like your prefrontal cortex doesn't really form till you're 25. Like
mhm,
I felt that physically happen this year. It like
uh,
not literally, but like
yeah,
spiritually, bro. Like this last year, crazy beginning of the year. Like I was down in the dumps mentally, physically, spiritually, but like just throughout myself and just creating and just realizing that everything's gonna be cool. It ended up being cool, and yeah, I mean, outside of the music right now, I'm in a very dedicated, loving relationship. I've been with my girl for over 3 years now. We just celebrated our 3-year anniversary last month
right.
in October. So thanks, man. Yeah, so just trying to enjoy little moments with her. Not I'm trying to make it so every time I see her, I'm not like, oh, they help push my stuff. Like I saw like we keep the artistry and what she does. Like we have our moments where that's out the window and we're just by
Mhm,
ourselves enjoying each other's company and just enjoying my time with new friends, spending time with my family. Um, my dad's mom, my grandma passed away in February, so it really put it into
mm.
perspective. Like, enjoy the time with your family that you have because they're not always gonna be here to spend that time with you. So, like this year in general, just a lot of different life changes and like things have really been narrowed down, and I'm like more tunnel vision than ever before, and I really know like what I need to focus on to like take that next step in life. So just enjoying those little things, man. I know it's cliche, but it's literally my mantra this year.
Nah, yeah, being grateful and because you never know what's about to come up, and you never know what you took advantage of before. So I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
All right, we're about to get into some hyper tight. You ready?
Let's do it, man.
All right, so hyper tight, rapid fire questions, lightning style, however you want to call it. If you think something is hype, if you think it's a fad, if you think people just rocking with it because of the name or whatever, call it like it is. If you think it's type, if you think it's dope, if you actually like it, if it's real, see what I did there?
Exactly.
It's
There you
tight.
go. Yep.
Staying on theme.
Fits the theme. Exactly. All right. I'm
This
ready.
is this is hyper tight real edition. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First one. Social media filters. Hyper tight.
I'm gonna go with hype. I think they're.
All right.
I think they're past due, man. It's been about time.
Okay, keep it real, keep it real. Deep fake tech hyper tight.
Deep fake tech. What do you mean by that? You got to break that down for me a little bit.
Deep fake tech, like I don't know if you've been paying attention to Drake's last tour. It's all a blur. But if you go see him,
Oh
he
yeah,
has this teenager who kind of looks like he did when he was a teenager. But if you
yeah.
look on the screen, it's him. It's his face.
I'd say it's hype right now, but give it a
Okay.
few more years, it will be tight once the
Okay.
technology gets there.
Okay. Okay. What about biographical films? You know, films that are based on real stories that usually are dramatized, got a little bit of extra spice in them. Hyper tight.
I mean, they always turn out pretty tight, but I'm gonna have to say hype out of respect for the people that the stories are based off of.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Stay true. Stay real.
Yeah, man.
What about small talk? Hyper tight.
Small talk. Nah, it's hype, bro. It's hype, bro.
Not real with the small
It's
talk.
hype.
Okay. And last but not least, live stream music concert. So maybe like a virtual music concert. Hyper tight.
That's tight. I
Okay.
think I think right now, bro, anything that COVID taught us, I hate bringing that shit up. We're all over that
Nah.
subject. But like if anything, if we learned anything during that time period, it's that like we can use technology to our advantage. I think if there's a way that the artists can monetize it, you know, or if they're willing to do it for free for a certain purpose, so be it. But yeah, that's tight, bro. We got to use technology to our advantage. You know, it's right there in the palm of our hands. We gotta take advantage of that for sure. Tight.
No, it's all good. It's all good. 100%. Thank you again for joining us. This has been another episode of the 6 5 show featuring Jorden Kyle. Go grab the art. Real. Just dropped featuring Nef da Pharaoh on all streaming platforms. Jorden Kyle, any closing remarks for the people?
Yeah, man. Not to be a broken record, but Reel's out now on all platforms. Jorden Kyle featuring Nef da Pharaoh. That's Jordan with an E, Jorden space Kyle. Go fuck with this on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere you listen to music. Man, Ron, thank you for having me, bro. This has been the 6 5 show. Appreciate y'all. And just keep on keeping real. Thank you.